Right, so Steve Todd from Reps Gym
in Preston.
And currently we have just come out of the Crown Court and we're having a nice cup of coffee around Steve's dad, who has decided to stay right out of the shop. So, everything that happened this morning, let me just say this. The first thing I'm going to say is I'm really proud of Steve for standing up for himself, because he's not just standing up for himself in his own business and people in there, the gym, etc., that have, some of them got mental health issues. They want to go out, they want to train, they're young and fit. And I'm going to give you a couple of comparisons here. Now, some of you don't know this, but Steve was also arrested the other day for going in the gym. Some of the members was in the gym, they all got £200 fines. Steve was held in custody for 24 hours. Now, there's a few things that we're going to talk about, but just to give you an indication of this, when everyone's talking about these COVID regulations, on Saturday, this Saturday at Trafalgar Square, I am going to be a picket union supervisor, and we will have up to 50 people there at the picket at Trafalgar Square. And guess what, people? We're exempt from the COVID regulations. So there are other elements, but just to explain to people before we go in, I'm going to come over to Steve now. But again, I'm really proud of what he's done. In a Crown Court, if you've never been, so Steve, have you got any previous convictions?
None whatsoever. Never been in a courtroom in my life. All I've ever done, been a law-abiding citizen, run my business, just tried to keep my head above water, and that's it. And suddenly there I am, arrested, handcuffed, thrown in the back of a van, dragged off to the police stations and locked up for 24 hours. After that, dragged off to the magistrates' court.
Disgusting. So again, let's just make some little reference in it. There have been many cases over this past few years where, and I'm just going to give you an example, pimps, people who run brothels or prostitutes. One, being a pimp and certainly living off immoral earnings is illegal. And yet you've got pimps that are getting references and that the women that work for him saying he's such a nice boss, etc. And these pimps, even though they've been arrested, have not done a day in a cell. So for me, looking at that, and then I look at you, who's been an hard-working man, you've never been in front of any part of this criminal justice system, and you find yourself not only being arrested twice, but the local council that you pay council tax to,
yeah, that's it,
have used that facility and their money. I mean, what do you think about the council and what they've done? Just explain to us what you think about it.
Well, at the end of the day, everything was done legally. Sworn affidavits were sent off to the Attorney General, sworn affidavits were sent off to the council, and the council actually said that we can't find a way, to the local newspaper. They actually explained to the journalist, they said we can't find a way to shut him down, but we're trying like crazy to find something to shut him down by. So legally they could not close me down, and at the end of the day all they could come up with was an ASBO order saying likely soon to cause a nuisance to members of the public. Now this is on an industrial estate, 3/4 of a mile away from the nearest house, and I get on with both my neighbours. So how can the council drag up an ASBO order saying antisocial behaviour to whom? And likely soon to? Likely soon, that's like saying a police officer pulling up at the side of the road and saying you're doing 28 and a 30, but I think you're likely soon to go over the speed limit. Yeah, but I haven't. No, but you're likely soon to. that doesn't stand up. You've committed a crime, or you've not committed a crime. You can't say likely soon to commit the crime. So no, total utter garbage.
Right, so there's a couple of large elements to this case. The one is there's some points of law that are being now put to a circuit judge in the Crown Court Criminal Division. First part of that is has the Coronavirus Act or coronavirus regulations or guidance repealed any of your Bill of Rights? And those questions have now got to be answered by a judge. The second element of this, which is really crucial to your case, and especially in relation to the council, is restraint of trade. So when you consider that councils have got trading estates and they allow planning permission and all the monies that go from local people into the local council, I mean, my question not only to you but also to the audience is, do you think that money for the prosecution of Steve Todd and Reps Gym has been spent in the way that you would have liked? In other words, they are persecuting a man that is, all he's trying to do is keep his business afloat and allow for fit, majority of them are actually fit young men and women, keep insane. So, I mean, what do you think? Do you think the council have took liberties by spending public money in a prosecution, like you've just said? They couldn't work out a way of arresting you or shutting you down. And one of the things that we're saying in the case is that there was no power for them to use an ASBO to do what you've done.
No.
And I mean, we're not going to get any nods from any judges, but certainly your appeal carries a number of things. So one is, and just for the audience again, Steve's fully aware, and we're going to get onto the court case side of it in a couple of minutes as well. The appeal covers three major areas. One, the Bill of Rights. Two, the constitutional statutes in relation to the Coronavirus Act and the 1984 Act that the judge referenced, and she'd forgot the name of it.
She'd forgotten it, yeah.
Yeah, it was quite funny. And you've then also got Article or Chapter 29 of the Magna Carta. Now again, the BBC and certain newspapers have blatantly stated that the Magna Carta is not in existence and it can't help anyone. Well, I can tell you the Magna Carta is in existence, and Chapter 29 definitely helps you. There have been two recent cases in the High Court in London where a union basically used Chapter 29, where people were being charged by the government for justice, and the union took it to court under Chapter 29 and won in the High Court, and the government had to give everyone their money back. So just make sure everyone understands what common law is. Now, going back over to Steve, in this court environment, obviously you was nervous at first.
Yes, yeah.
Right? But you soon got the hang of it.
Yeah, that's it, you get the hang of it, yeah.
So let me just make sure everyone's aware of this. This is not any of this free man of the land. This is not any of this I am a free man or I am a living man, right? This is about common law and to show how powerful common law is. So there was a reference we made to the judge, or you made to the judge, with reference to the judge was saying that in the law it was very ambiguous and it didn't actually say whether or not the court had the power to stay the order.
Yeah.
Right? It wasn't actually written in the law. And then you mentioned...
Yeah, she had the right under common law to actually...
Well, so say that loudly.
Yeah, that's it. She had the right under common law to actually repeal the order.
So again, this is for the audience. What you've got to understand is Roman law writes everything down, pages and pages and pages, right? Roman law is not our law. Our law is common law. And what we use are smaller reams, so it covers this is what we want to achieve from this law. So it's a short law. You don't have to write out everything. It's a short law. And the judge is the person that interprets that in the spirit of the law and makes a common law judgment. And the common law judgment is the highest judgment in the land. It's called Preston. And that precedent is what you're looking for when you go into the High Court. So Steve, in effect, reminded the judge that she had common law powers.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it.
And then she decided to use them.
Yes.
So, I mean, just to explain what the judge said under the common law element, which was basically that she was going to assume the power, which she could.
She did, yeah, that's it.
It's not written, so she can do that. That's common law. But she did actually say that she's not going to award or order a stay, and then she gives some reasons that, I mean, I disagree with and you disagree with.
Yeah, that's it. Just saying. Like I said, she had the right to appeal the stay and let me business get back open again. But she said, looking at all the facts, I've decided to go against it.
Yeah. So this is not the appeal. This is the application for a stay. So the judge heard the application for Mackenzie Friend.
Yeah.
And agreed.
Yeah, agreed.
So I was in there helping Steve. She's also agreed some other bits and pieces, and she did actually agree that she had the power or presume the power as a common law judge to make a decision on whether or not she could stay. Now, I know she could stay it. Steve knew she could stay it, but she was. But they was playing some games there that they didn't need to play. But that, in essence, is what happened. Again, we know that the clerks of the court were they looked aghast.
They did, yes.
When Steve said he had been arrested. Steve was honest and told the judge that he'd been arrested. One of the things also, I did make you aware, I don't think you was, the police have put out a social media statement, and I think this is disgusting, by the way, almost gloating that they have rearrested Steve at the gym. What they've done in that statement is said they've arrested him, we kept him in custody for 24 hours, etc, etc. But what they failed to tell the public was that the whole situation is under appeal. And I will be, when we win this, and we will win it, helping Steve to sue the police and sue the council. And we've also got a number of solicitors in the background that are very interested in helping us with that. So again, people out there, don't panic, go to court, stand up for yourself. Steve has done a fantastic job today. I'm pleased that the interaction in the court happened, because now you know what to expect.
Yes, exactly.
Once you've done it once,
that's it.
I wouldn't suggest there's anything else in that. That once you've done it once, it's, and therefore we have now got a case. Is it on the 20?
It's the 18th of April for the appeal.
Was it?
18th.
18th of April. So if anyone wants to come up and support us outside Preston Crown Court, you're most welcome. And that's it. Anything else you want to add to that?
No. Like I said, the police want to put on social media that they've arrested me and everything like that. But when they're using 20 police officers, 6 cars, a van, and they say they're short of staffed
Resources.
and resources, yet they can waste that on going into a gym to arrest people just because they're doing a bit of bench pressing, a bit of curling. I don't think it's high on the high priority list. I would have thought houses being broken into and knife crime and all the rest of the things that's going through the roof would have been more important, but they decided that they'd rather use the resources to come down to a gym.
Yeah, I think the whole thing is disgusting, and especially, like I say, when people have gone their whole lives without any interaction at all with a criminal justice system, and to be criminalised in this way, shame on the judges, shame on the police, and shame on the local authority, that the people who are responsible for this. So anyone in Preston that's watching this, you should probably start to get a petition up to sack the CEO without a golden handshake. So there you go. Well, thank you very much. Well done.
Thank you so much for your help.
No worries. You did really well in there. Like I say, I know how hard it is for people, and it is hard for me sometimes, because it's like having a little baby and you can't get into the hospital. Do you know what I mean? It's like watching a baby fall over. But